There we go. We've got all the switches flipped up and looks to be green across the board. Hello, Twitch. Good to see you guys again. It's been a little bit of a while, but we're back and we're diving on into our Star Wars campaign tonight. Let's see how many planets and sectors we can blow up tonight. And with that, Kylar, I will let this entire disaster go into your hands, and it's now your fault.
What disaster? Where is there a disaster? There is no disaster here. Gandalf the Grey.
If there's not one now, we just have to be patient and wait.
I mean, I'm sure. Anyway.
I mean, the GM currently has to say with whatever's happening with the walking disaster. So when we find out what happens there,
who's the walking disaster?
Because even I knew that.
Oh. Sorry, I'm just so far past Pachez, like I'm just not even. Star Wars Legends of the Force, Episode 3, Chapter 33. Choose your adventure. The party managed to escape from the Obsidian Tower with assistance from Remi and Dekia aboard the Malefic's Grace. Only the Whisperer and R1S were left behind as they flew to safety, but as the group looked on, an orbital strike completely razed the tower to the ground, leaving only a crater where it once stood. While unable to locate Pachez, the information stored on Darth Karakis' server now rests in Lexa Scarlet's droid memory. Although she only had limited time, she managed to find information that could shed some light on occurrences going all the way back, coming Emma Ralius months ago, as well as where Revan went in the unknown regions before coming back to the war. Now each member of the group has to choose where their destiny lies. Okie dokie. So. You've all come aboard the Malefic's Grace. And as you would watch the ramp close to the Obsidian Tower being completely destroyed, Remi takes off up into the atmosphere, jumps into hyperspace. There's no Imperial pursuit, no Sith pursuit whatsoever. Flies up into space, enters hyperspace, and flies off without a hitch, with a dog barking in the background. So you're all left in the cargo bay as you had jumped. Into hyperspace. What do you do?
So, what were my orders for after getting the data? Just return it. I assume that's it.
Yeah. You were sent to help the group.
I want to ask if everybody's all right. If anybody's badly hurt.
Yeah, me too.
Good idea, Steeler.
Oh, shots fired at our conversation. Well, Kalani's a bit beat up, if her health is accurate on this this here website.
Yeah,
okay, I will heal her then.
That's about where I had her down to. Oh, we're over here.
I will offer to heal everybody up.
After being exposed to very low pressure atmosphere.
Mommy. take a look and make sure you didn't suffer any lasting damage.
Yes.
Should I roll treat injury or whatever?
No, you're fine. Like, you can just say you heal him. You know, we're out of combat, so, like, we're fine. You can heal him.
Okay. Okay, well, after everybody's healed up, I want to go to the cockpit. Is Remi flying the ship, or who's flying the ship?
Yeah, Remi's flying.
Did our sensors pick up what happened to the tower? Like, who destroyed it?
Okay, is anybody else going to the bridge with him before we do that? What's everybody doing?
Yeah, Lexa will go with Shiloh.
Yeah. Theodore will follow Lexa.
Okie dokie. Anybody not going to the bridge? Alright, John. Alright, John, what's Ethan doing?
I want to try to, like, get Jarrat's attention, pull him aside, and ask him to fill me in on what's going on. Like, all the details of, like, why they were there and what's happening.
Alright, yeah, that's pretty easy to do, because everybody else is heading to the bridge, so you guys can kind of, like, fade to the back of the group and sort of, as they're heading up there. Might take you a bit to find the bridge, because neither of you have been on the ship before, but it's a fairly small ship, so if you find the bridge later, it's not going to be that tricky. So.
Waterbed.
You're going to get lost? Oh, well, never mind, you're sorry, yeah, you can very easily see the
Look,
bridge.
I can see everything.
Are you ignoring me and going to the bridge then?
No, I'm following. Gonna hang back and see what you want.
All right, we'll hit you guys first, and then we'll go to the bridge.
Okay. What seems to be your inquiry, Master Jedi?
Well, I don't know what's going on. What were you all doing on the planet?
From what I remember, we were there to try to locate Pachez. He had gone missing, and Kalani needed some aid in that, and I came to lend what I could.
It was Kalani's mission then. She was sent to locate him.
Yes, as far as I know.
That's what I had assumed. But what was the other rest of the party doing at the top of the tower? What were they looking for up there?
Let me remember. From what I recall, they were trying to locate some data that the Solonian needed, Theodore, and possibly some other things. I'm not entirely certain as to what it all was. I just know Kalani needed to go, and I was going to assist her with what I could.
Who's the Solonian? What's his affiliation?
I am not sure. Apparently he is, or if I remember correctly, he was a bodyguard or something. He was under the employ of of another who was technologically savvy, shall we say. I only caught his name a couple of times, but not more than that. They called him the Eraser, but that was about it.
So this isn't a Republic or Jedi Order sanctioned mission? This is some private affair?
Not officially. I know that the Order wanted Pachez, but to what extent, I'm not sure.
Oh, just to interject, John, Eaton would remember the name, the Eraser. So before he left the party on Coruscant, you had found out that the Eraser had been clearing records and doing some stuff related to the shenanigans that were happening on Coruscant. So the name is familiar to you.
Wait a minute, say that again? I'm familiar with what?
The Eraser was erasing data files and doing some other things when you were helping the group on Coruscant. So you would recognize the name when he said Theodore was working for him.
I don't remember him at all. Was he there?
No, he was just name dropped. They didn't meet him until later.
If you say so. This is the kind of stuff that I mean when I say, hey, can you catch me back up to speed for this campaign? Like, this is the kind of information I'm asking for.
Okay, yeah. So he was the eraser. Well, he was involved in a couple of different things, but basically was originally contracted to make the guy who made the bomb, made the droids that started off the entire precipitating events, make him go away. But then the eraser realized it was kind of a setup, so then he let the person get stuck on Coruscant so you guys could catch him, and then he was trying to kind of help you guys after he realized that the Kalani Alon getting arrested thing was a setup. So he then was kind of reaching out, trying to figure out what was going on. So he's a data hacker. He's a data hacker.
All right.
I'm
just going to pretend I followed any of that.
If you recall, he reached out to us a couple times and tried to get us to work for him, and each time we thought it was super creepy and totally a trap, and so we just like, nah, and ignored him the whole session. That wasn't that the eraser?
That's not the eraser. That's rated.
That was rated. That was Mr. R. That was rated.
Let's not get sidetracked. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I asked.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine.
Okay, so moving right on from that. I'm just going to say to Gerard, I've been here for over a month, and I saw Pachez briefly about 3 days after I was brought here. He was unconscious and unresponsive. They brought him and placed him in the cell next to me, and a while later they took him away, and I haven't seen him since.
Curious. All right. And that was how long ago?
That was over 3 weeks ago.
Okay, so... alright. That answers at least part of that question. Now to find out where this little one is. He seems to be quite slippery, shall we say.
Out of character, this is the first time our characters have met in person. Is that right?
I believe so.
Yeah, you may have heard of...
Yeah, I'm going to roleplay like I know him by reputation.
Yeah, you guys may have known each other, but you guys have never really crossed paths, yeah.
Okay. It's a pleasure to finally meet you. I only know you by reputation, but I appreciate your help getting me out of there. I don't think I could have accomplished that by myself.
I'm not sure about that. Going by what I know of you, you could have done such as well. Could have gotten out of there all by yourself.
Okay, that's it. I'm done. That's all I wanted to discuss.
Alright. Shall we join the others on the bridge?
Oh, I wasn't saying that in character. I'm sorry. I was just saying I'm through. I did what I needed to do. Yeah, I guess so.
Ethan, give me an intelligence check, or knowledge. I guess knowledge something. Hang on a sec.
Galactic lore, life science. Yeah, knife sciences. Life sciences, physical science, social.
I like knife sciences.
No, just give me an intelligence check. Yeah, just a pure intelligence check.
That's pretty good for a...
Oh, it did roll.
Yeah.
It did. Okay, you remember some other details about Jurat. He has younger siblings who are twins, and one of them joined up with the Sith, the brother, so they're fraternal twins. Aaron is with the Sith, and Ariel is the twin sister who... so they're both... right, they're both younger than Jurat. Jurat's the older brother, correct?
Correct.
So you remember that as well.
Lexa's other person, or Zeri's other person, has a twin brother who is a Sith man?
Yes.
Yeah.
Leave me alone while I type for a minute.
I got typing to do. We'll leave you alone, and we'll go to the bridge. We'll go to the bridge. All right, bridge. I believe Shiloh had some things he wanted to ask Remi.
I come up
They would
before
require him to unmute.
I stand behind Shiloh and listen intently as I'm looking outside the window towards Korriban.
All right, you'll see that as it, and then you'll see the jump to hyperspace happen. So you'll be looking at Korriban for a couple of minutes, and then it'll shoot off once the calculations are done. All right, Shiloh, what are you asking?
Did our sensors pick up the source of the fire that destroyed the tower? Do we know what Sith was responsible for that?
I don't know which Sith, but I was one of the main cruisers above Korriban.
It seems strange that if they knew the data were being hacked, they shot down the tower, not the ship that we were clearly escaping on. So it makes me suspicious that somebody destroyed the tower for other reasons, and we were just incidental, because no one even came after us as we flew away.
Yes, it is weird. I agree. What happened in there?
What didn't happen?
Well, I gather that we didn't find Pachez, and we had a little bit of a hassle up in the top. But we managed to, I think, get the data that we needed.
I'll just look at Scarlet and see if she confirms that we got the data that we needed.
She nods.
Regarding the data, I would like a copy, if you have a chance, before we return.
I can't give you a copy. The data was encrypted. There was no way to take it off without destroying it, so I memorized it.
Are you capable of
I have a
transferring images into a file?
Does he know I'm a droid? I don't remember having that conversation.
Yeah, do I know? I don't remember if I know or not.
I do not recall whether or not you
I
know
don't
that.
think he does. I wouldn't tell anyone.
Yeah, I don't think you know that. If you don't have it in your notes, we're going to say you don't remember, even if you did know it at some point.
I'm very lifelike. It's easy to forget.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's just go with no.
Okay.
That didn't happen.
That didn't happen? Alright, that didn't happen. You're just saying she remembered it. She memorized it.
Then when you get a chance, I'd like a summarization of it, so that I can return it in a report.
I'll summarize it when we're all together. I don't want to repeat myself.
Is there any clues that you've gathered that may have suggested who tried to destroy the tower? Do you think it was the other group that he was opposing, something to do with the Genesis project?
I'm reading, please hold. Recalling.
Just imagining her face goes blank and she's just like, eh. One moment, please. Accessing data.
Bye, John. John and Barry both just like gone. You're gone. It don't matter anymore.
It's unclear. I didn't learn anything that would for sure tell me who or why they would try to destroy this tower. But I don't want to go into details, like I said. I'll explain what I know when everyone's together.
Wild chicken. Oh, by the way, we're rendezvousing with Radic off planet. He asked us to meet us somewhere else.
Where?
Deep space somewhere. I think he must have a ship out there.
Odd that he didn't tell us before.
Well, he only told me to meet us out there once I said, I told him that we had recovered you all. Anyway, I'm just about done with all of this. Did we learn anything? What? So where is everybody else?
I will go collect them.
You do that.
And then Theodore just walks out, starts searching for everyone.
The question is, can we recollect the two players?
While we're waiting, I'm gonna try to Farsi Pachez.
You do that every session.
Yeah, well, you never know. Maybe the Asalamir guarding him will just die of a heart attack or something. And I'll Farsi him before they notice. Wait, what? So I see something different than what I saw before?
Kyrath is calling shenanigans.
Is that different than what I've seen before, Kylar?
Last time you didn't see anything.
Yeah. So did I see stars?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Wait, what are the rules for?
Funny thing is, I don't understand what the heck that means either. So.
You're peering. What are you looking at?
I'm trying to see what happens. Do I feel any strong emotions? Do I sense whether it's alive or dead? It says I can do that. So if I see empty space, I should be able to sense if he's dead or alive, or if he has any strong emotion.
He's typing furiously.
Just one more player to return. And then Theodore can come
I have
back
concluded that Pachez accidentally zapped himself into an alternate dimension in the spot in our galaxy where he's supposed to be. He's not anymore.
I am pleased with this. That is sufficiently weird enough.
When I'm king, mechanical keyboards will be illegal.
But they're so much fun. Oh, Barry's back.
Yeah, so I went to go
Twitchception.
with you guys.
Except it's like on a 20-second delay, so I'm hearing you guys from 20 seconds ago.
That was like 60 seconds.
Okay.
I like this. I see. Kylar is like, scheming, and Kyra's going, what the?
Alright, everybody's back. So now everybody's on the bridge.
Okay, is everybody
Boom,
back?
Theodore has collected everybody, and we're on the bridge.
Okay. When everyone is there,
I just tried to see Pachez again in the Force. Last time I tried this, I just sensed nothing, like he was behind a Force negation thing, like those creatures. But this time, I saw an empty point in space with debris floating around. And I saw a Sith insignia on the hull of one of the ships. I didn't get any sense of Pachez, whether or not he was alive or dead, or experiencing any emotions. It's like he wasn't there, but I could see his spot in space. And I was trying to see him.
That's because he's dead.
Sounds to me
But I
like
should
they
be
were
able to
transporting
sense if
him,
he's
and
dead.
the ship he was on got destroyed.
I looked him up in the records. They talked about him being involved in a project, and when the project was completed, they terminated him. He's dead.
Yes.
Well, if he's dead, he's not dead in the way that normal people are dead. Because he should still have a presence in the Tia, or the Force energy that indicates he passed on from this life.
According to the Sith, they killed him, and they're very sure about it.
What's the project that he was involved in?
While they're discussing that, Gerard is going to go ahead and center himself in the Force on one of the chairs and go into a full serenity. Use the Force locate Pachez ping mode. Because all I could do is ping him.
All you can do is ping him.
Well, that's all you can do with use the Force. I can't farsi him. I can't see where he is exactly. I can just locate him. AKA Serenity Hijinks. It's a natural 20.
Yep. Doesn't that allow you to see outside of a star system?
you can have telepathy in a different quadrant of the galaxy. It doesn't say anything. Oh wait, no. Yeah, it says. Well, it says a great disturbance can be sensed anywhere in the same galaxy.
You could make some
It says
very
you can sense other forces
sketchy
out to a
arguments.
range of 100 kilometers.
You could make some very sketchy arguments about Pachez himself just being a disturbance in the Force.
My brain is the disturbance in the Force right now.
His mere existence.
It would be a natural. It would be considered a natural 20 at a total of
Yeah, I know.
47.
Yeah. Yeah, you get a, I mean, it's hard, you don't really have a star chart in your brain. You just get like a sense of like, oh, he's over, maybe, well, was kinda, but like it feels a little weird, like, in that over there. Like, maybe you have like a star map in front of you and you're like, there-ish.
Does he get a sense of whether he's alive or dead?
That ability, I don't think does that.
I have an idea regarding that. Maybe we could observe a handful of constellations and try to sketch them out and then search for the location that way.
Yeah, the far-seeing people could maybe do that. But I think you have to spend force points and stuff to get a really wide look at stuff. But You could do that. It would take a while, but you could do that.
I can't think of any other landmarks there are in deep space.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only way you'd be able to.
Yeah.
Like,
So are they discussing ways to find Pachez?
or find
Yes.
where Charlie was
As soon
seeing
as
this
Lexa
thing.
hears that that's what the conversation's turned to, she just leaves the bridge.
She's just leaving.
Yeah.
What's her problem?
Come back here. We need to all be in this room.
Yes.
For this conversation.
Yeah. I'm ready for a conversation. If you just want to go find this stupid one, come get me when you're ready.
Well, what was the project that you said the records indicated he was a part of?
They
At this
wouldn't
point,
say.
Messiah just sighs.
I was just curious of his
They
location.
were looking. They were clearly looking for his force powers to teleport, and if they said it was complete, that means somehow they got it. So he's irrelevant now. It's too late.
Okay, then we need to... It's not too late. What if only one Sith learned the secret? We need to find out.
Well, if only one Sith found it, it's probably Karakis, seeing as that this was his temple and those were his records. I think we know who it was who found it. Also, not really sure why we care. He's dead. Over, done with, good riddance.
In my experience, Sith can't be taken
What
over
about
the word.
the process?
It's not his word, these are his records. The records nobody else knows about. In his deep, dark, dear diary, it says, I killed Pachez.
Can you be certain that wasn't fabricated specifically for us to find?
No, there was nothing about that machine. If I even attempted to tamper the machine, all the records were erased to me. I had to literally read and memorize everything I read in order to gain any information at all. Not to mention
does seem to
security.
be a stretch that they planned for us to infiltrate and manage to make it into their most secure servers that weren't connected to the outside world in any way. If they'd been planning on that, I would expect they would have blown the entire building up with us in it.
I can believe what you're saying, Lexa, but I still think it's wise to verify for ourselves whether he's dead or alive.
Well, if you do that, you'll do it without
But we
me.
also
I
need to
don't
figure out
care.
whether Darth Karakis is dead or alive now.
We don't even know if he was
That's not an
there.
endeavor that will involve all of us.
Well, if you object to this course of action, how do you suggest we proceed?
Well, I don't care. I have the. There's more information I could tell you. After that's over, we're going to rendezvous with Radek, and I'm leaving with him.
I don't object to the course of action, but we should
Fair enough.
finish this debriefing before you continue on it.
Right, well, I looked up Karakis himself. I couldn't find anything aside from some historical Sith records and a list of special projects, all of which were jargon I don't understand. As far as what he was attempting, though, I found records that indicated someone named Admiral Varys and a Darth Laurel were put in charge of some project shutdown. What was the name of the project we were looking for again? The Genesis project, yes. These two individuals were put in charge of shutting it down and then cleaning up. It seems like Karakis was tracking the recent events with the exchange cloning facility. The one we found on Nashadar, right? What Taris? I think it was
It's on
Nashadar.
Arshada.
Yeah. Karakis was keeping tabs on the facility, and then began to get suspicious that someone was trying to hide something other than the defunct project. There are evidence of clones on Taris. The evidence that they found of clones on Taris was a final piece of confirmation he needed. And the clones were the clones that they were creating had exhibited signs of brainwashing, and that Karakis had developed with the help of Darth Karakis. So they seem to be some sort of project between several Darths, none of which were I seem to agree upon what to do with them afterwards. I think Karakis was mostly interested in the clones because the brainwashing techniques that they used were of his own design.
Okay, you mentioned two names I haven't heard before, an admiral and something else. Can you give me those again, please?
Admiral Varys and Darth Laurel.
Shiloh, give me
the one who escaped.
Yeah, give me an intelligence check.
That we didn't fight in the very first thing.
Give me an intelligence check.
And the other one sounds
Oh, your intelligence. Oh.
Alright, well, we'll see if Ajax. Let's see what Ajax rolls.
Ow!
Shiloh didn't exactly go to school.
Ooh, shots fired.
No.
Also, the two people that were like looking for Pachez in the Force, that was Jurat and Shiloh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so, well, Ajax rolled a nat 20, so he remembers the battle very well. So he's like, yeah, Laurel was that Sith lady that we fought back when we were trying to stop the fleet from attacking attacking New Thanai, and the Admiral, that's the Admiral we were trying to capture to convince the fleet to stand down. That went sideways. I think she was, like, in charge of him, or his bodyguard. I'm pretty sure she was technically in charge, but looked like she wasn't. Something like that. But the Admiral's the one who kind of was trying to finish the job after he attacked Telos.
This happened before I joined you all?
Yeah. That's, so the attack on Telos that wiped everybody out, the colonists ended up on New Thanai, on Thela. The Admiral didn't like it that people escaped. He was kind of shamed for it, so he tried to send a fleet to wipe them out. And the spirits on the planet tag teamed with us, sabotaging the command ship. Bought enough time for the Republic to show up. And we didn't. Well, we were engaged with Darth Laurel in combat, but the ship was breaking to pieces, so we ran for the exits. We haven't seen her since. We figured they were both dead, but we never got confirmation.
Do the records indicate whether they were successfully completely destroying Project Genesis, or was there work left for them to do?
Was that a question directed at me?
Yes, it was. It was indeed.
Margaret is in space trying to figure this puzzle out.
Did the records indicate whether they were successfully completely destroying Project Genesis, or were there more work for them to be doing?
My GM gave me very vague notes, so no, it's unclear. All I know is what Karakis suspected of them and what he was trying to figure out what they were doing. But no, it doesn't really seem to indicate anything more about Admiral Varys or Darth Laurel, their location, how successful they were. Only that they were put in charge of the project shutdown and cleanup. And that there's something more to it than a defunct project, which I guess means that it didn't quite go the way they wanted it to, but at the same time, there was something hidden underneath.
Alright, chimes in. Well, I thought the connection...
So we were confused To summarize, we were confused on what was happening, so we went to the top secret headquarters of the Sith in charge of all the information gathering in the entire galaxy, who's the most well-informed Sith in the universe, and we hacked into his private server, and we still know nothing. Excellent. I'm sure there's lots more people out there who will be able to explain this mystery to us.
R1S died for nothing! Well, except that we saved Eden. So I guess that was worth it.
Eden for R1S.
I'm an old man. R1S was just a boy.
He was just getting started and just got his.
Alright, all my NPCs leave and don't attempt to assist you.
Dekia will stay. I'm in control of Dekia.
It's a shame that I was too delirious after my asphyxiation. I could have recorded the screen. Could have gotten more information.
Well, as I recall, you were very eager to get to the information, and your eagerness nearly killed you. So.
Well, Remi
Love
Kitchen.
to get what we got.
Isn't the missing piece that you're not talking about that I don't really know how it fits in all those clones of Allura? They're kicking in.
Well, yes. So obviously, this cloning facility on Taurus is the clones of Allura.
Did you say you just said there were clones, but you didn't say what was the project originally? Because we know what it is now, but what was the project originally?
You didn't give me notes on that. I looked.
Can you send me the notes I gave you?
You can see how confused I am.
I don't have my other notes open.
Oh
I
gosh.
gave you the thing.
I feel like I'm missing something, but I'm like, these are the notes you gave me. I must be missing something on purpose.
And the rest of their lives unfolded before them.
Yep.
Turns out he forgot to give you part 2 of the note.
Let me see. Let me
I
open
thought
my
there
notes.
was more coming.
There's a paragraph that didn't get transferred over.
I think I know what they're about.
These are the notes, my good sir,
I know what they're about.
that you gave me.
No. I gave you like 3 separate notes on that first paragraph. That's the last paragraph of the notes I gave you. I gave you more than that.
Well, that makes sense because it's very confusing.
There is
But
more than
I
that.
have the other notes.
Yes, go back. I'll see if I can find them and resend them. I'm like, wow, she's not very helpful right now. She's just pretending to be an idiot. Like, what is happening? Give her so much more information than what she's saying. Hang on, I got a lot of stuff going on my computer. I think it might be faster if we try and find it on. All right, let's see. What date was it? Did we say?
Yes, because
September.
it was the 13th of
August
September
13th.
13th and August 23rd.
You know me so
September.
well, because the thing I roleplay is pretending to be stupid.
No, I was like.
Not unless I'm
this seems- wait,
Bluetooth.
September 13th.
Or was it August for some reason?
You can just write it off as, there's a fault caused by the
I
shock
just
from your
thought-
emotional
well, I was-
subroutines at losing
I'm missing
R1S.
things, but I'm like, we've been missing things this whole time. It makes sense.
That would explain things.
now I gotta role play my sudden remembrance.
Well, it helps cast off suspicion of lacking.
No,
droid.
you didn't look high enough. You missed
Droid
you
ability.
found other messages in between everything. There's
Well,
a lot of
That's
you
the pro-
spammed me with like a bunch of. Oh my goodness! I gave you like an entire. Yeah, you missed the whole because you didn't have the
Yeah,
notes
well,
on
the
the
problem
format.
is we talk throughout every session, making jokes with each other, so sometimes the notes get lost. Okay. Please have the rest of them. Thank you.
Okay, dokie. The good news is I found it.
Yay!
Yeah, there was like...
Well, I know, I'm reading this and I'm like, I feel like I knew more. Maybe I was just into it. Like, I feel like I knew more when this happened.
You
Maybe
did.
if
You knew a lot more.
I'm like, maybe if I say it out loud, Kai Rath will read his notes and it'll make sense. I don't know.
Okay. There we go. I have now sent you... Alright, so everybody else, calm down while Alexa accesses her deep memory banks from literally 10 minutes ago and remembers what she actually was supposed to know. Because I'm like, I know I gave you more information than this. What is going on? This shouldn't be that hard. I'm like, this seems like there's some key information being left out. It's like... oh my goodness.
Well, you were right on that one.
I was like, what is happening? Like, what? Like, I'm pretty sure I did the... Alright, let me have my NPC mention something, and then we'll see how that goes. Like, maybe I'll just post.
I've had the notes the whole time. I just did it to mess with your head. It would be hilarious if that's what I did.
You're messing with everybody else's head a lot more than... I know what's going on! Nobody else knows what the heck is going on!
I have the opposite problem. I ask questions, what about this and what about this, and I get a little bit of information, and I try to roleplay on it. Then I get corrected midstream, and then I have to go, oh, except that I do know this thing, and it's this.
And it was this. We just
That's
call
mostly
it.
a consequence of coming back into the game.
We can just call it.
And we've
that
also been playing very intermittently as well, so...
Yeah, that too.
And it's been a campaign that's stretched over 3 years, and I'm trying to tie everything back together, so there's a lot of stuff happening
That
right
can't
now.
be easy.
So it's understandable that there's some
As
confusion.
long as you know who
that's
your character's father is, you're doing pretty good.
Generally speaking, yes. If you don't, then the whole quest to go get his book is meaningless to you.
Yes, it is. And then my character is very confused.
Anyway, Lexa shakes her head and hits her brain a little bit and is like, oh, wait a minute. I think something got stuck. I'm suddenly remembering more than I memorized. Actually, now that you asked, Shialu, Operation Genesis originally was a project seeking to artificially create more sensitivity. How did I forget that part?
I think you should. You need to stop laughing because nobody can understand what you're saying.
I can't, so we're just gonna go with it.
Somebody needs to fix her.
I'm pretty sure that's your job, and you just broke me, so we're gonna move on.
You're the one who didn't find all the information. I'll
confuse
put it in
that
your
again.
notes to begin with,
And
so this is not a
breathe.
me problem.
Uh-huh. Anyway. Now you said breathe, and now I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking too much about things. And Dekia and Allura were both originally test subjects. I'm just not going to use the voice. We're just going to say I say this in a way cooler way because that's how I'm going to get this out. Dekia and Allura were both originally test subjects. Clones with slightly modified DNA. Dekia's family line was selected for testing because of its strong connection with the Force. DNA taken from Dekia's ancestor, Theta, was used in the splicing experiments. There's more... Oh, wait, that's in the first person. I wouldn't say that out loud. It seems like Allura was the control. It seems like she underwent the same splicing procedure, but the DNA that was altered was not supposed to have any effect. And the Sith used the exchange to...
Wow, the Sith are very scientific about that.
Yes, they're very. It's almost as though they were controlled by a biologist. The Sith used the exchange of the embryos in. The exchange used put embryos into Republic space, and several test subjects were looking at different environmental effects to see if it changed at all the result, I guess. The Sith who were running the project wanted to keep it hidden from other Sith as well. There seemed to be at least six others that survived. 2 developed force powers, both died from complications at young ages. The project leaders were fairly certain that they had learned enough to proceed, but it seems when Revan arrived and Karakis was put in charge of special projects, Karakis terminated the project in order for loose ends to be eliminated. And nevertheless, those are the loose ends Admiral Barris and Don Laurel were supposed to take care of, which now makes the last things I said make more sense than they did in the beginning.
So Dekia and Allura are both clones?
That's what it appears to be, yes, and that they have sisters who didn't survive. But the cloning procedure, from what I've read, it seemed as though it wasn't like they weren't grown in tubes. Like, they had parents.
As Kyrath madly types the notes. Engage in the conversation and type notes later.
Then I'll forget.
Like I did!
So this project obviously works since Dekia has force powers.
I suppose. I mean, that's one interpretation of it.
Who's Allura?
Alon's girlfriend.
Oh, did I say Allura? Or did I say Dekia?
You said Dekia. Isn't Dekia in the room with this discussion?
Yes,
Yeah.
Dekia is in the room. Yes, you are playing Dekia, so good luck with that. Dekia is in fact in
You're
the
a
room.
clone!
I thought Lexa said Allura. Did she not? Did she only say Dekia's name, or did she say Allura as well?
Allura
And she
and
said
Allura too. So way back, like literally, like the second or third, like the session after we caught Dekia, way back, Alon saw her, and then Zario was like, "Wow, she bears a striking resemblance to Allura," and then Kyrath made the avatar for Emma Ralius the same thing but with different hair color, and so I ran with it. So it was a throwaway comment way back, and I ran with it. You know nothing. Anyway, continue.
So, are they the same? Are they genetically
twins?
identical?
They're genetically almost twins. They're slightly different.
Allura and
So-
We already knew that part, though.
Shialu already knew that. So Dekia was having problems. She was having some problems, and Shialu healed her, and then did some tests, and then
shortening.
noticed the DNA was very similar.
Did Alon know that?
Yes.
I don't
Okay.
think Alon really cared.
I was gone for half those sessions, so I'm assuming that Shialu told people what was happening.
I think you told Dekia. I don't think you told anybody. I'm not sure. You think you told somebody? I don't remember who it was.
I think they might have been in the room when that got discussed.
Yeah.
I don't know. If nobody wrote it down in their notes, then
So
nobody
the
knows.
important question is how this information informs our course of action. How does knowing that they're clones meant to have force powers change what we're supposed to do next?
Well, that sounds like a question, honestly, for you. You're the only person I know of who is both involved in scientific matters and also a force individual. I'm sure Radek would have some suggestions. This was the thing he wanted to know about, as it was involving Revan and what he was up to.
I also like to point out that when she was referencing the clones on Terrace being confirmatory, you recall when you went to go meet the Eraser, and there was like that trihexylon poison and body erasing nonsense, that all three of those guys looked identical.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember that.
So,
I was already thinking
That's
it.
coming back to me
Everybody?
as well.
Yeah, I was already thinking about that.
so that, yeah, so they...
So it looks
so
like
those
if
three
that's
were...
at the
So
very
obviously
least
Protogenesis isn't destroyed.
no, and
Well, so
it's
you-
successful. But Alora didn't seem to have any force sensitivity. Did you sense any in her? Oh, that's well, but
I thought you said that she was the control subject.
that's true. Exactly.
So we should probably tell the Republic military this intelligence.
Well,
'Cause I don't think that we're equipped to fully deal with this problem.
except, and Lexa looks at Dekia. We have one of those subjects here, and I don't think deciding her fate for her is exactly the right course of action.
I didn't say we should turn her over to the Republic military. I just meant that we should tell the Republic military that the Sith is using genetic engineering and cloning to generate an army of Force users and attack people with them that disintegrate into toxic.
Right, which will necessarily lead to, how did you find out about this information? Well, here it is, and then they read this report and be like, who are these individuals? And we just say, oh, we don't know that part. Good luck finding them.
Oh, in case you
That might fly unless there's a really, really mean and rude paladin in the room who happens to call you out on deceiving the galactic leader.
Sure, buddy. Barry, I'm just gonna remind you to look at Jarrat's current situation thing that I gave you way back when you started playing him again, and that Lexa did mention that the mind control techniques that were seen being used on Terrace with the clones were developed in conjunction by Karakis and Darth Karakis.
Yeah, I caught that. It was kind of like interesting.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, double check your current situation, and that might help you out. All right.
Okay. Yep.
All right. Is anybody confused thus far? We can pause and all right. All right. John is confused. All right. Okay.
I don't know that there's any amount of explanation
Somewhat
can I clarify much of this for me. At this point, I'm just prepared to go with it.
I understand enough
you
to
have a-
proceed.
do you have
There's such a high density of details here that I'm not going to be able to get all of it.
Okay.
I'll just have to kind of do my best and kind of go on. If I role play some detail wrong, just let me make it.
All you really going forward, all your character really needs to know is that there was an old project trying to create Force sensitive clones, which your character would know has been impossible, and cloning is sort of bad, and even clones like Force sensitive clones usually go crazy. And so the ability to create mind controlled Force sensitive clones, which is what was exhibited on Terrace, is super dangerous and potentially really bad for the Republic and for the Jedi. So if the Sith can do that, then they can have a Force using army that they can just mass produce essentially.
And you said that they're mind controlled?
Yeah.
Too spooky.
So, it says here that DNA taken from Dekia's ancestor, Theta. Does Dekia know who Theta is? I mean, she's...
You should go back and check the backstory you wrote for Dekia.
Oh, yeah, well...
You should go read her backstory, because I pulled it from the backstory.
Oh, yeah, but I deleted that stuff.
Do you have her backstory, or do I need to send that to you?
No, I think I should have it. But, she believes herself to be a part of this family. I mean, technically speaking, she is. But she isn't? She is and she isn't? Genetically, whose daughter is she? Then?
Mostly... yeah, that's a kind of an amorph. She's not sure. Her mother did give birth to her.
Well, yeah, she's sure about that. But I mean, if they were producing...
So she's still mostly genetically that... She's pretty much genetic... her parents were used mostly for the genetic template for things. And then they just... they basically just augmented that going forward. So... because her ancestor was really powerful in the Force, so they were using it as a guinea pig trial. Because they thought it would be easier to make slight changes than sort of reintroduce the wheel.
Her great grandmother.
Oh, see, he found the notes.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm not sure where I
in my
got
GM
no.
note folder.
Yeah, like I purposely deleted a lot of this stuff from my brain so that I wasn't.
Dekia was born to the poor peasants Jayla and Corin Malefic. Her mother, Jayla, is a descendant of a once powerful force-using family. However, the last person to have such power was her great-grandmother, Feda.
Okay. Yeah, I vaguely recall that. Can't expect to remember everything I ever wrote, okay?
Yeah, Kai was like, okay, we have to remember these details that in a 2-paragraph backstory 4 years ago. But it is artfully woven together. Because I didn't even realize that Dekia had a written backstory until just now looking at it. I was like, does Dekia have a written backstory?
Yeah, she had a written backstory. Mm-hmm.
She was an important NPC.
Yeah. That's just because I wrote all my character backstories in the main document instead of having separate documents for them.
Mm-hmm. So Dekia would remember that that's her great grandmother.
Okay. I mean, at this point, I think she's just kind of like rocking against the wall and maybe like pounding a fist in. There's probably now a dent in the wall where she's been like slowly pounding away at it as she's contemplating all of this.
That seems fair.
But so she was sick earlier, right? So this is genetic degradation because she's a clone. Well, that super sucks and is terminal.
We do have a way of locating Darth Karakis if you wish to question him. Or at least getting closer onto his trail, I should say.
How are we gonna do that?
Hey Jack, do you still have the code for that tracker we put on his ship?
Yeah, I think, well, didn't, Ariel was tracking him, wasn't she?
She is, but you and I, along with Dell, had also put a tracker on his flagship.
Oh yeah, isn't that... I think,
Ariel is indeed tracking the fleet as well. So we do have ways of finding at least his fleet.
yeah. Well, wouldn't it just be easier to, don't you have a telepathic link to
I do.
Ariel?
I do. I've just been hesitant to use it as of late. It can be distracting, and Ariel, for all she is, a marvelous lady, there are times she shuts me out of things.
So you're saying she wouldn't talk to you?
There are times she doesn't. Or her
Well,
deflections say enough.
It depends on how close they are as to whether or not I can get a good lock on the signal. Worked better because we were kind of close by to it, and Ariel, I think, was staying in range. So I can see what I can do. Maybe once we meet with Radic, I can get a better lock on the signal. With this ship, probably not.
Alright. You manage to do that. I will see what I can't find by talking with Ariel. It's been a while, and I hope she's doing alright.
Right. Well, once we meet up with Radic, I think Lexa and I and Messiah were heading with Radic. Wait, you found the other information Radic was looking for, right, Lexa?
Mm.
Good.
And Gerard will nod and then kind of head out to a different part of the ship that Dekia is not beating up. Nothing against her, but a dark side user just sitting there going fum 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 kind of messes up a meditation.
It's fine.
Particularly since we're talking about telepathic communication between siblings across at least sectors. So, wanting to make sure there's a good clear signal and not thump, thump, thump. Poor static in the communication.
Yeah, there's definitely like a dark aura bubbling around her.
Oh yeah.
She seems very, very angry.
I was gonna say miffed, but angry is another good way to put it.
Minimize attenuation.
And Gerard is going to take a moment, serenity this thing, and make sure the call, quote unquote call, is connected right to the sprint towers and going dum dum dum. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Ariel, how goes your situation?
Alright, we will cut to that in a second. Alright, so he leaves, everybody else is still on the bridge. So he goes off to make contact. What is everybody on the bridge talking about?
I'm in a room by myself.
I was actually going to ask Dekia if she was okay.
Are you okay with all this information, Dekia? Do you want to talk about it?
Not here.
Remi's like, I take that as a no.
Well, I just found out that not only was I not really born to my parents, but also I am dying. And it's a permanent death, so no, I'm not okay. And she kind of turns around and starts heading for somewhere else.
Remi will run after her.
I thought I treated her. I thought she wasn't dying. No.
She's fixed for now.
Okay.
I want to ask the pilot what's our current
Well, Shayla
destination.
really wants to point out that all of
Pilot
us are
just
dying.
ran after his girlfriend. There's no pilot.
So if you say what's the current trajectory, we're heading to meet up with Radic in space. I think he's got a ship out there.
So we're heading for a location in deep space somewhere. We're not headed to a planet or anything.
No planet.
And that's where Lexa's getting off.
That's where Lexa, Ajak, and Lesai are getting off, yes.
Does that mean that Ariel is going to be joining the party?
Where are we going from there?
Anywhere we want, because once we have Ariel, we can walk in anyway and bluff our way inside.
She is a master infiltrator, shall we say.
I
I'll
think he
do
wants
that
to know
things.
what happens after they do that.
Yeah, she gets to do all the things. She makes a really good,
But I'm assuming we're going to go
Gerard's anvil. So
hunt down Reco.
I need to
That
contact the
seems to be
Jedi
the only
Council.
lead we have.
I need to contact the Jedi Council on the temple on Coruscant as soon as possible.
Oh, I'm gonna, since I don't know anybody in the Republic military, I'm gonna write up what we know or something and send it to Elond and ask him to forward it to his military contacts.
which military contract would you like me to send it to, laddie? I've got tons of them.
Hopefully, the least incompetent one.
Yeah.
Well, that depends on the GM's roles. Most of them
Yeah, right.
seem to be.
So, Ajak will respond to you, Ethan. Well, if we get to Radic's ship, I'm sure he's got some good encryption we can use to send to contact the Jedi Council.
I'll have to make use of that encryption as well. Contact my employer.
Yep. Yeah, I can't imagine Radic's ship won't be equipped with it, I think. Then we'll try and track down either Ariel or Reco, since that seems to be the only lead we have now. You guys, I guess, will do what you will after that.
is all that you learned from databases?
Yes. That's all I was able to learn. Unfortunately, I had to go rather quickly, considering the danger we were in. I would have learned more, but there was pressure to leave quickly.
Understandable. I was just confirming. And I think that includes this debriefing until we arrive at our destination.
I was gonna just call it a conversation, but sure, if your technical brain wants to call it a debriefing, it was a debriefing. Now, I'm gonna go drink something that will do nothing because I'm still quite upset at the fact that I just lost my droid and I need to come up with a way to bring him back in some fashion. Excuse me. And she leaves to go find booze and somewhere to a workbench of some kind.
Stomp, 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 stomp,
Bring
stomp, stomp.
him back. Sure, that's possible. I assume we are at a consensus that
Who's left to ask that question?
I believe that's possible.
Everyone's left, therefore consensus.
So everyone's counting?
Yes.
No. In the meantime, I guess I'm gonna sit at the controls in case there's an emergency. Everyone else is gone. Everyone else who can fly spaceships is left.
Ethan, you're like the responsible parent on this journey.
I guess I'm gonna go take care of my pet.
Oh yeah, you still have a pet.
Theodore goes off to
Or see
prepare a report.
You're muted, Kylar.
Can't hear you.
Weren't you on the other ship when you flew?
Which one?
Yeah.
I thought we all
The
got
bounty
aboard the
hunter ship?
same ship.
The Void Scarlet? Oh, there were two ships that got sent. Wasn't there? I know Scarlet was over on the Malefic space.
Yeah, there
I
were
think
two
we
ships.
left the ship behind, guys.
Yeah, we did because you sent your droid and the other person who both got vaporized to go and grab the ship.
Wait, did we leave the
In
Void
the
Scarlet
distance,
on the ship?
there's a scene with Elon going, "Yeah, damn, what with my ship?"
Well,
Not your ship, anyway.
guys, we had a ship. We don't anymore.
What's happening?
Now the Sith have a brand new ship.
Apparently,
You left the spaceship behind?
yeah.
We
Well,
left.
I'm blaming the
We
GM because he
came in
just
two ships.
GM narrated that we jumped to hyperspace at the beginning of the session, but what we actually did was we went back and got the ship
We didn't know that
because I wanted to stay and find out who destroyed the tower, and then all of a sudden, before we could
I don't
even
think
say
it
we
really
wanted
makes
to do
sense
anything,
that-
he just
No,
said we
because-
were in hyperspace.
I
Well,
think
we
it makes
thought-
sense we left without the ship.
Yeah, because what's her face?
Why?
Because what's her face, the Whisperer, and R1S was supposed to go get that ship, and we all left in a big mass hurry, and we were like already tearing it out of here when this temple got blown up, and we're like,
Right.
ah, crap.
It would be a bad idea to try
then
to
we
go
just
back.
turn around.
It would be a really bad idea.
Ship.
Oh, it's not a good idea to go get
Okay,
the ship.
here's the other
It's
thing,
stuck
too.
in the middle
We
of Korriban.
didn't remember the ship. Our GM remembered the ship, so we don't get that information. We're just sitting here all pouting.
But
and
I didn't
upset.
even want to leave Korriban's atmosphere before investigating which ship destroyed the other.
You are a font of bad ideas.
Say that.
You weren't the
I
one
was gonna
driving.
agree. I'm gonna agree with
Yeah,
that.
Go
yeah,
back to
clear
Korriban
some
if you
fleet.
want.
You want to
Okay,
stay around Korriban with their
No,
fleet.
we're still at Korriban. I demand
Korriban is like,
recommend.
we gotta go back and get it, and everyone says nope. It takes a far,
So there's
far
an
away
entire
from
fleet flying around the planet after they destroyed one of their most secure installations because it got tampered with.
Yeah, but they didn't
and you want
shoot
to
us down
return-
or even tail us or anything. So
Okay,
we just flew over there.
Everyone in favor of going back to get the Void Scarlet, raise your hand.
Theodore would knock it out before allowing that.
Everybody else who wants to keep on with our easy escape route, raise your hand.
No, there's no reason not to get the ship. We weren't being tracked or shot.
Yes,
or
we
anything.
were.
Why? No, we weren't. We were not
They
being
would have
shot.
figured it
We flew
out
from the
pretty
atmosphere.
quick.
There was no one even stopping us. We just flew right up and went.
If it makes you
Because we
feel
didn't
better,
stop.
if
Yeah.
it makes you feel better, we'll give you Eagles vote. But that still means we win and we're leaving.
But my vault tech is gonna starve to death on this ship for no reason. Turn around. We gotta go get the
Hey,
ship.
Kyra,
hey,
Kyra.
you're
Well,
not
no,
the only one who's
there's
lost
plenty
something
of-
here.
You can go back to Korriban if you want. You just can't take the spaceship with you.
I'm not
You're
trying to go
assuming-
back to
you're
Korriban. I'm
assuming-
saying we
No.
never left Korriban before getting the other ship.
You'll have to get out and walk.
If your GM,
You're
GM
assuming the
is
ship
nice
that
to you,
impounds that ship.
if your GM is nice to you, he could say your little pet hid in your robes and you didn't know it, and all of a
It's
sudden
not
he's
that
here.
small. It's a fox. It's not small
No.
enough to fit
Please
in the
save
grubs.
us from his terrible ideas. And just say it synced up with the ship somehow, please.
Death,
Nope.
fight
They
to
don't
the
have
death
ship.
of Theodore would be the result of this thing.
Well, why? I don't understand why we couldn't get the other ship.
Because we put it in a
Because
boat
it's,
that
that was 90
Like,
minutes
I didn't
ago.
realize
You
this
forgot
session was
about
going to
it.
start with us
Oh, we're
in
leaving.
hyperspace. Like, when did we decide to go into hyperspace?
Why didn't you raise the
Immediately.
pressure right away?
Also,
was
we
the
weren't
assumption.
driving.
We ended last session right next to the tower as it got shut up. We
But
shot.
Kyrak, we weren't driving
No, we
either.
ended-
Ramai was driving.
How
Flying
was I
away.
supposed to rescue my pet?
I sense it.
Well,
This
you didn't
None
nervous
of us
even
would have allowed it.
They left me ship alone.
Maybe Alon will come back for it. And
I'm just saying outright, there would have been violence to stop trying to turn us around.
I think
That's mainly why I didn't, because I knew that Kyrath was going to be the only one who wanted to go back, and then Theodore was going to punch people. That's why I'm starting in hyperspace.
That's okay. I can handle punches.
What about throat ripping? Can you
All
handle
I need
throat
is
ripping?
one punch.
Like, he's good at throat ripping.
how about you and I just start a support group for all the pets your brother has killed in our campaign?
My pet didn't even die though. It's gonna die a
Stop
terrible death of
stop
starvation.
believing
There's
in
So,
plenty.
like,
There's
I don't
plenty
know.
of.
I wanna
There's
tell
plenty
you
of
guys.
rations on the ship. Let's leave it be. Okay, it's already been done. He's
Yeah,
come
like
back.
the dock
Sorry.
lurker will find it later when the ship gets
When we
impounded.
get home, I'll get you a new pet.
Be the responsible parent of this. We'll get you a new puppy. It'll be fine.
This is how many campaigns that you've had a pet go missing on you?
Both of those times weren't even my fault. Both of those times the GM was like, the entire alien / demonic / everything is going wrong, and you need to evacuate right now. And bam, you're gone. Your pet is lost. forever.
And you couldn't think
Hey.
of 5 seconds to go, hey, come here.
Except in my campaign where I just let you have familiars, and then they can't go away.
Yes, much better. I cast summon vault tech.
You didn't find him. It's too late.
Sorry, you didn't subscribe to the first subscription and pay $100 a year. So
GM, what are we currently doing?
I don't. Is anybody else doing anything? Oh, right. Oh, yeah, right. We're going back to Gerard. Gerard reached out to Ariel and she's like, "How is everything going?" Oh, also,
I don't know, man.
I gave you a thing, and I put it on. I made it. Gave you another handout. It's very brief, but I gave you another handout.
Please hold while I read.
I may need to upgrade my subscription or I may need to switch carriers from Sprint to T-Mobile or something like that. Ariel, are you there?
Yeah? I'm here. As always.
How are things going over there?
Super boring, like you asked. I'm just tracking a ship. And staying in sensor range while you have all the fun.
I may be bringing the fun to you.
Really?
Yes, we will be in need of Ereko soon. Or at least pursuing him.
And what does that mean?
He has connections with a mind control program. And I cannot remember, but if he has connections with the mind control program, it could explain a few things, or it needs to be stopped.
Brother, you're always great at being incredibly vague. Look,
know.
whatever he needs, whatever's gonna happen, we're going to have to stop it. I've been watching Ereko. He just seems to be spinning around the planet for the last week or so. Again, it's an unexplored planet. There's no information on my sensors about what it is. So, by bringing the party here, what does that mean exactly? Are you bringing friends again? Because the couple of friends you've left me with are weird.
Well, these friends will help. And I do apologize for that. But you're the one who encouraged me to go help Kalani.
Yeah, because I thought quick and done, and now it's like a while.
Yes, and now I am bringing a possibility of some action, shall we say. Basically, my theory is that Ereko is the one controlling Eren. If he's using mind-controlling capabilities, it would explain everything with Eren, wouldn't it?
I suppose, but I didn't get that sense from him. He seemed of his own accord. I feel like if it was mind control, I would know.
Alright. Either way, Ereko will need to be stopped. If he's using this mind control, or if he's involved with this, Ereko is our next lead.
Just, are the friends you're bringing, are they murderous types of people who aren't going to care if Eren gets caught in the middle?
There's Shilu, who I'm not sure if you met him, but he is a healer and is quite peaceful, and is not a murderous person, as you would put it. And then there's Ethan Juslav. I'm not sure if you recognize the name, but he's a Jedi Master who is...
Yeah, well, I can
quite
read your
sensitive.
mind, so...
There's that too.
I'm getting the image you're presenting.
The one we may have to watch out for is Solonian.
Yeah, now that you're talking about him and thinking about him, yeah, he could be a problem.
Yes.
Fine. But just make sure that they understand we're on our own mission here, and if anything happens to Aaron...
Yes, I will convey the sentiment that if anything happens to Aaron, they will have to deal with two particular Leaxan siblings and face our wrath.
Well, at least it won't be boring.
Just
sitting in a meditative trance, hoping that the Sith and the Edge won't sense me. Speaking of which, also our connection is raising. We'll raise some flags, so we should probably end soon.
Yes, but thank you for letting me know you're that. We'll go ahead and see if we can't start tracking the Recco and heading your way.
Fine. Do I need to send you coordinates, or can you just use your brain to find me?
I have you.
Okay, I'll just keep projecting. Just try not to contact me unless you need to.
Alright. Stay safe.
Yeah. Hard not to when it's really boring.
I know. It's alright. You'll be fine. It'll be okay. You know the entire spiel. We'll get to...
I do.
We'll get some action soon. Don't worry.
She just sighs and turns off the connection.
That's what I thought.
Alrighty. Any other conversations that are happening? No conversation.
Not that I know of.
From Theodore. He's just clacking away on his data pad, writing up his report.
What was Shialu doing? I forgot.
He was trying to see if Dekia was okay, and then he was writing a note to Aeland about the cloning situation to send to the Republic. And now he's apparently also now sitting in a corner looking at Kits with Farseeing, watching him starve to death and crying.
Oh gosh.
Wow! You know how to make things super sad super quickly.
Wait. Watching who starved to death and fry?
His pet.
I will say Lexa
My
brings,
Volptex.
Lexa brings you a drink in solidarity. She just says, I mean, this will actually drown your sorrows. It doesn't do anything for me, but I do it just to be with organics.
My pets have the best track record so far.
Alright.
We at least know what Bob's doing.
Alright, so if there's nothing else, we'll jump to the rendezvous with Radic. Anything else? Anything? Bueller? Alright. Alright, so you pull up to this. So you exit hyperspace, and if you're still on the bridge or somewhere with a window, there's sort of like a blue nebula coming behind. But you jump out of hyperspace, and the ship that is before you is quite large, like cruiser level large. It's kind of got like this wedge shape in the front, kind of looks luxurious and stuff in the back. And so you pull out into this place, and you get hailed. So Remi is still not on the bridge. So Ethan, you said you were
What?
running.
No. What?
Not
I was just thinking that. I was gonna say I have long
see
since
like a
relinquished this
you see like a
controls, right?
blinky light. You see like a blinky light.
Responsible adult has to answer the phone.
Okay. Here's what I do. I key the ship intercom, and I say, "We've come out of hyperspace, and there's a ship that's hailing us. Somebody come to the bridge."
Alright, who gets the bridge first? Who wants to answer? Not Eaton. Eaton doesn't want to answer.
Not my show.
Lexa will wait a few minutes, and then she, hearing nobody respond, rolls her eyes and just says, "I'm coming."
That's because Gerard's strength is not in talking to people other than trying to make them believe what he wants them to.
She gets up to the bridge.
Flying ships is not Theodore's job.
She nods at Eaton and takes the co-pilot chair, flips a couple of switches to switch the ship into manual mode, and then answers the call. "This is Dekia." Bleh. "This is Lexa speaking." I know what character I'm playing. "This is Lexa speaking."
Ah, Lexa. Are you alright? It's Riddick.
I'm a little bruised, but I'm fine.
Well, if you could pilot aboard so we can get underway.
Of course. Curious, why didn't you tell us we were meeting you in deep space before?
Well, this is a little bit of a long story. I'll catch you up once you're on board.
Alright. Any particular docking bay?
Your choice.
She hangs up and sends the necessary docking procedures to the ship. I'll show them the ship. Or dock it.
Alright, so you fly in towards the ship, and the Malefic's Grace is a fine little cargo-y sort of vessel. This ship is very large. Like, you pull into the cargo bay and you're like, this could probably hold like 4 or 5 fighters if we wanted to. Like, and there's just one bay. Like, so you fly in, you park. So you're now landed. Are you all gonna get out? Who's getting out? Nobody's getting out. What's happening?
Lexa's getting out.
All right. So I know.
Yeah.
Each one talked to the Jedi Council. Ajax still doesn't know that Gerard made contact with Ariel, so he's gonna go. Well, he's gonna get off anyway. He's gonna look for find the tracker, and Theodore needs to go talk to the Eraser. So, is anybody else gonna get off?
That leaves me and Shiloh. So
Yeah, Shiloh will get off.
Yeah. Gerard,
And
go ahead.
yeah, Remi and Dekia are gonna stay on board. Lasaia's gonna get off too. So almost everybody gets off except for the intrepid pilots who used to be Sith. So you jump out of this hangar. You see some like loader droids like carrying some boxes of stuff around, and you kind of stand out there for a couple of minutes, and then Radek comes around the corner, coming out of the door, comes out. Welcome to Shadow's Light.
It's an impressive ship you have here.
I've been planning this trip for a while.
Sure.
Well, you have what we were looking for, yes?
Of course.
Well, that's where we're going.
Oh. Well,
Where are we going?
Well, I've been looking into figuring out where Revan came from. The ship is my exploratory vessel. We're gonna see if we can find out if there's anything out there. Lexa thinks she's found the headings that Revan used when he went out there the first time.
we're going to see where this
Do you
will
think
begin.
that's more important than an army of force-using wank clones?
You're not coming with us. You're right, that's also important, and as the one of the few people in the galaxy who's best equipped to handle a situation like this, you can't come with us. We need you to stay. We'll fight, but we can't.
Right, but why aren't you gonna stay?
Because this is not my destiny. None of this has ever been my choice. None of this has anything to do with me. All it's done is gotten my family into trouble.
Oh, by the way, father and brother are on board.
I think we've already taken care of it.
I figured that could wait until after we had finished briefing everybody. So, Force using clones, that's what's going on.
Looks like. Seems like a lot of meticulous effort was put into place for some biological army.
Well,
Seems like that is everybody's solution to every problem, just build an army.
oh, and it looks like, I can't believe we've been introduced properly. He looks at Ethan.
This is our dad, Ethan.
Well, how do you do? I'm Steve Harrington. I'm the captain of the basketball team. I've adopted these 4 12-year-olds for some reason.
That's pretty good. I love that.
I wish I had that hair. It's no good getting old. I used to have some hair. Anyway.
This is just how Ethan introduces himself.
My name's Ethan Gralseth. I need to speak with the Jedi Council. Do you have a communications unit that I can use?
You're looking to contact the Jedi Council?
If I could.
Yes, this should, yes, well, I'm assuming you'll need to contact the Eraser, Theodore. Yes, I have secure communications set up for you. Right this way. And I'll gesture. So you're walking through the halls. You see some, like, droids walking around, like supply droids and some service droids, like little mouse droids zooming around the ship. It's very clean. The ship looks pretty new. Like, it hasn't been used, like, at all. You see, walk by, there's still some inner pieces that are getting welded together by, like, some maintenance droids. And as you're going past that, it's like, yes, well, this situation sort of developed a little bit more rapidly than I was anticipating. The vessel's not quite finished, but it will work for now. Anyway, here is communications terminals. There's a couple of separate rooms so you can make calls simultaneously. Theodore, I've already got the Eraser online for you. E10, Kalani, and Jarat. I don't know if you're all going to talk to the Jedi. Either way, that room will be equipped for you. Shiloh, as you all made it out in one piece. If you're interested in seeing the medical
I'd like to
base.
send a message to Elon.
Oh,
Then
yes, of course,
I guess
that
I'll make a
can be arranged.
today. Also, do you
might
have
need
any
to send
other
that.
operatives currently on Corbin?
I think you might need to you might want to jump in the conversation with Theodore, then I'm pretty sure he's the only one who knows Elon's new identity.
Hey, Theodore,
Amazing.
could you tell
Amazing.
the Eraser to send this to Elon?
I'll give Theodore like a data chip or whatever.
Radic, it occurred to my party after we quit swiftly left that we left behind our ship, the one that they'll need to help. also Shialu's, I believe, pet was on board. If there's some way or someone we could send down there to just pick it up and bring back, Shialu would be appreciative.
I don't have anyone, Korriban.
Do you have contacts or someone we could pay?
I'll see
A
what I
bounty
can
hunter would be enough.
do. Perhaps. I'll see if I can arrange something. Although, I'm assuming your ride off of here is going to be Malefic's Grace.
It's not. And I just lean in. It's really not that time sensitive. It's just going to make him feel better if you say it'll fix everything. He'll get things fixed.
Can I roll perception to hear that?
Sure,
I was waiting for that.
Lexa, make a stealth check. Lexa, make a stealth check. Shiloh, make a perception check. This is ridiculous.
Also, what did Shialu say to Theodore? I missed the first. I couldn't understand the first half.
He wanted to send a message.
I gotta make a stealth check, not a deception check.
This is a stealth
What
check.
did
This
you
is not,
say
you're not
about Theodore
deceiving
knowing
anyone.
about Alon?
So, he wanted you to tell the eraser to tell Alon the message.
Yep, Shiloh heard that.
Dang it. Shoot.
It is time sensitive. Kits only has a limited amount of food and water that he needs to survive.
I just gave Riddick this look of see what I'm dealing with.
Well, seeing as you'll... Yeah, I'll see what I can do. Can't make any promises,
I
though.
will get your message to the eraser, but I would not expect much.
Right, well, Shiloh, in the meantime, would you like to check out the medical base? Since we're traveling with a few organics, he knows that Ajax and Messiah. I've got a full suite. It's really quite impressive.
Spared no expense, have we?
No spared, no expense.
I couldn't help it was there.
Sure, I'll take a look at it.
Right. Well, this way. Everyone else, when you're done, just follow this hallway. We'll be over there. No. Walk with everybody else. Alright, so, Theodore, do you want to roleplay the conversation with the eraser, or do you just want to say we had it? Your choice.
We can roleplay it real quick. It shouldn't take that long.
Okay. Alright, so you call the eraser.
Especially considering Theodore.
Mm-hmm, right. Oh, yes. Theodore, it's good to see you.
Yes, I have reports from the mission available. Shall I upload them now?
Oh, yes. Yes, this link has been fully encrypted. It's totally safe to transmit the data.
I will do so. Sadly, I was not able to access the data, but I was able to get a hollow recording of the debriefing for the person who was able to take a look at it.
Excellent.
So that is unfortunately the best I could do.
We may better get the whole data, but I get it. Tough situation. I'm glad that you're okay. So yeah, just pop it over. We'll take a look at it. See if I can find anything.
Should be uploading now.
Oh, also, John, for your character information. Let's see, where is he? This is what the eraser looks like. He's a Verpine. I've met him face to face before.
I have.
No, you haven't, but everybody, just so you know, just for fun. That's why I'm talking like a weird, high pitched, kind of fast voice, because he's a bug.
Okay.
Alright, so yeah, Eraser takes a look at the data, looks a little bit. Oh, well, this really does explain. This fits in all the pieces. Okay, I think I have enough to work. Full picture. Perfect. Well, since you're already there, you probably more helpful to them than you're helpful to me at the moment. Radix got me set up pretty secure right now. And they could use you.
If those are your orders, then I will obey.
Yes, I think this situation calls for as much help as can be given, and if you can help the Jedi and whoever else is going on, I'm assuming you're going to go after them. Well, I would say just going after them. Small force, sneak in, maybe sabotage some things, or get some more intel. And you still have those data spikes and everything. That'll get you in. So you can use those. Open doors. Help everybody out. Yes, I think yes, that will help everyone there, and I'll see if I can dig anything else here. I'll relay more information to you if you can get a secure connection, and if I find anything, because this gives me more to work with.
Understood.
Right, good luck, my friend. It's like, and then as he goes off, you hear him he turns and he forgets to hang up because he's just you see him turn and you can tell he's looking at his view screens and typing stuff in and putting pieces together. And this happens sometimes, and he's not going to talk to you again because he's just lost. You hear him muttering to himself as he's lost in the data analysis. So you know that you're just going to hang up. Yeah, yeah. You've had to hang up on him before.
Security problems one day.
Oh, you mean? Sorry. Well, I'm just talking to. There's no security risk. I know you hang up. Right. Good luck. Beep. And he hangs up. Alrighty.
Single
And
strand of fur falls out of the side of Theodore's head. He turns around and walks away.
All right.
And
So
you notice
we
a
got,
slight gray patch.
Oh boy. All right. So you, so Etan, you and Jarrah and Kalani all go in to talk to the Jedi Council, and you're ringing, and so you're calling back home, and Etan, you remember that they were you had been gathering information for an upcoming operation, and so you get rerouted actually, because most of the Jedi Council is actually not on Coruscant at the moment. So you're rerouted, and who appears but everybody's favorite Jedi Master, Brooke Lamar. Oh, he's back. He's back again, everybody. Back and better than ever.
So does Kalani just fade in the background now that there's several Jedi?
She's like, nope, not talking.
She's the tallest of us all and is trying to hide now.
She just shrinks a little.
She's just
Master
standing so
Joseph,
high.
it's good to see you alive.
The hollow recorder, and then she's just her head's not in the picture that Lamar is receiving.
Anyway, so Brooke Lamar is like, Master Joseph, it's good to see you alive.
Yes, thank you, Master.
What's your situation?
I'm currently at a deep space rendezvous, not far from Korriban. After the mission to, what was the name of it? Did the cruiser that we assaulted have a name?
The cruiser that assaulted you, you do not know its name.
Okay, after my capture aboard the Sith cruiser, I was held on Korriban in a place called the Obsidian Tower for about a month. and then Master Gerard. Is Kalani a Jedi Master? Or she not?
Yeah.
I think
She's a
so.
master. Yeah. Yeah, she's a
I want
master.
to address her correctly.
Yeah, she is.
Okay. Masters Kalani and Gerard in their search for Pachez located me there and were able to help me escape.
Oh, you escaped the Obsidian Tower. That's a feat.
I can do without help.
Well, the operation on Terrace proceeds apace. We might not be able to be in contact shortly, so we've been able to gather enough intel to proceed. But what, Master Lexlin, what were you doing at the Obsidian Tower to begin with?
Is he talking to me?
He's talking to Gerard.
Oh, he asked Gerard, what was he doing? I was, greetings, Master. I was, following a lead, and aiding Kalani Starfire in her mission. Trying to maintain a, at least somewhat of a visual, or at least keeping an eye on a small disturbance known as Pachez Nevadh.
Yes, we're familiar with Pachez. What's his status?
Wait a minute. That wasn't an officially sanctioned mission from the Council? Are you operating on your own cognizance?
What?
I was led to believe that Kalani's mission was one that the Council assigned to her.
Kind of. They've gotten scant details recently from the operation. Because Kalani was captured, and then I'm not sure they called again, but like she doesn't like talking to them, so they're kind of in the dark about what's been going on recently, and they've been busy planning the terrorist operation.
Okay, well, that's one of the reasons I called, is to fill them in on what our current status is and what's been going on.
Well, that's good.
As far as I know.
Right.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I was confused by all the detail.
No, you're good. No, he was asking you. He was asking just generally what Pacaz's status was.
As far as that goes, his current status is unknown. We're trying to figure and locate him, but the Sith have apparently been using Ysalamiri, and it's been difficult to track him.
Well, we've got bigger things to worry about now. Well, you were inside the Obsidian Tower. Did you learn anything else?
They like to keep donating arms to my collection, but beyond that, not much.
We didn't tell him about the missing clones.
Of course.
Yeah, Kalani is just gonna be like,
It's not under Gerard's purview.
We think that they were making Force-sensitive clones, like the ones that attacked us on Terrace before, and we're trying to track them using aerial, because we think Darth Karakis is involved. So we have a connection. We can pursue it further. We're just like making clones. She just like looks at him like backs up. It was some sort of project that was started a long time ago. It's connected to everything that the Aelon and Coruscant, and it's all I don't know how it's connected, but it's all connected. And we have to go. Well, I don't know. If you want us to, we'll go follow Ariel and follow the leads to hopefully stop it. You said you were busy with that thing on Terrace. What's happening on Terrace? Looks like that's need to know only. You can't have the information getting out. If they really are making clones, that could be disastrous. Yes, follow that. We don't have any other resources we can deploy. And if you already, Gerard, your sister is in position.
Yes, she
already.
is. Yes, she is. She's been waiting or tracking at least the fleet that Darth Karakis has used, and is currently in orbit over a planet. I'm not sure of the exact name of the planet, but I do have the coordinates.
You have the coordinates? We can see if the Jedi Archives have anything. Well, you could contact the Jedi. I'll forward you after this call. Give them the coordinates, see if they have any information for you.
All right.
Any updates on her brother?
Nothing as of yet, other than him still being in Erako's company, and we know where his fleet is. That's about all we can do.
Do not let their relationship jeopardize the mission. Stopping whatever this is takes priority. Understood?
If you say so.
I should need to explain the gravity of creating Force-sensitive clones to you. If allowed to make this large-scale effective, we'll lose the war.
Yes. I understand the gravity of the situation. I know what is at stake. We will shut down the cloning facility and make sure it's not used anymore.
Yeah. It looks directly at you, Ethan. Ethan, make sure everybody stays on track.
Do we have any support for this mission?
We can't spare anything at the moment. We're run thin.
Understood.
There will have to be some form of infiltration, I imagine. Full-scale assault will not be effective. But in case you were not aware, currently of the situation, Ariel's brother, Aaron, has joined with the Sith, and she's been, well, Gerard and her have been tracking him recently. And Kalani, I believe, is fairly friendly with them all. I trust you to remain on mission.
Understood.
Well, if this terrorist operation goes well, and your operation goes well, we may be well on our way to winning the war. Keep the Jedi Temple informed. We may be out of contact. So if you don't hear anything from the Council, don't be alarmed. That's just proceeding as planned.
Thank you.
May the Force be with you all.
May the Force be with you.
And with you.
Alright, and as that, you get redirected back to the Jedi Temple so you can give coordinates to them so they can look up things.
Alright, so the coordinates is here. Since I wasn't given any exact coordinates, so...
Yeah. Just because the star coordinates are terrible. Alright, Brooke is going on. Alright, I will tell they respond. They'll say they're gonna run some searches and get back to you.
Alright, thank you very much. It's not like I can't find it anyways, but okay.
What do you mean? They might have information.
Yeah, they would have information on what the planet is. Gerard's not expecting much. Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm. Alright. So, yeah, that conversation's over, so if you want to head over to Medical Bayland, where Shiloh's being like, fancy toys for keeping everybody alive. Ooh, fancy.
I'm not seeing a lot of shock and awe on his face.
Not. He seems like he's
That's
on.
because now he relies on you people alive. Although, can I look to see if there's anything that could improve upon the therapy I've given to Dekia?
Sure, you can look.
Okay. I guess I'll look for that. I'll also look to see if there's a way where I can analyze, again, the differences I found between Elora and Dekia and see if I can whip up some magical retrovirus vaccine to inject clones with that can remove their force powers.
You do like a CRISPR-Cas9 sort of gene editing.
Well,
Alright, give me a minute. Give me a knowledge, life sciences, or give me a knowledge sciences.
Okay.
Yeah. So synthetically, technically possible. There's like splicing and nonsense that people do to their adult bodies that can go wrong if you don't know what you're doing. Luckily for you, you're fairly read up on medical stuff, and so you're reading. It will take you a while to parse through it, but you think the equipment is here. That you could do that fairly straightforwardly. But like you have to find the actual edits. So you have to search through the whole genome to like find the edits that are actually related to the force powers. It would be easier if you could get your hands on the actual medical data that they were using to make the clones and stuff, so you could actually isolate what was going on, because you don't know what any of the because there's more than one spot that's different looking through, and so to identify the actual piece that you need to change, like the pieces that you would need to change, it would be easier if you actually had the records for successful clones that are out there, if you actually got the actual research.
Now I see a double function in the force-sensitive assassin people dissolving in the toxic goo after they're defeated.
There's nothing to do with this.
Yeah, because now we can't obtain genetic samples.
Well, no. Well, yes, but it was more meant just as a general obfuscation.
It just happened to be very good at this one bit of...
Exactly.
So if you have the actual data from the science facilities that were making the clones and stuff, then you would find ways to do that. You might also be able to find ways, if the new clones are more successful, to stabilize her as is and maintain the force powers. That might be trickier. So you could attempt something now, but you'd kind of be taking a shot in the dark.
Well, I might as well.
Also, doing it now would remove her force powers, and good luck getting her to agree to that.
Wait, no, that's not what I meant. I wasn't gonna do it on Dekia. I was gonna put it in some like darts that we could shoot at the next assassin clones that we see and remove their force powers.
Okay, no, it would take like days, like it would take a long time for that to kick in. Like that's not gonna be an effective weapon.
That's what you think. He's planning on wearing out those days. Like
you're talking about Earth technology. This is Star Wars technology. We can travel fast.
No, it does not happen instantaneously. All splicing efforts take a while to kick in as the new genes have to
I mean, we could always try a whole thing with pumping it into the water
least a
system.
couple of hours.
Yeah, okay, fine. It would still work eventually.
I for one knew where Kairos was going with that. I'm not sure how you didn't see the dart thing. I saw the dart thing coming a mile away.
Like,
Okay.
it would still be valuable to their to have this, like, all the Sith ships, just, like, fill them with with a gas that has gene editing nanoparticles in it, and then by the time the ships land anywhere, everybody will have lost their force power.
It's not the worst plan that you've had.
No, it's not the worst plan.
Alternatively-
it's not the worst plan.
Alternatively, what you could do is you could have the same thing, except it inserts genes that cause massive growth rates that gives them all cancer, so they just overgrow and die within a few days, and then we just take the ship back.
That's awful.
This is just super. It would take you like
See where this is going?
It's not just like I'm just gonna whip this up in a couple of seconds, so it's gonna take a while. So everybody else volunteer
We just MacGyver this science.
because MacGyver is junk
We can
science.
skip time.
MacGyver is fun.
Magic
Well, I
down
was just
time.
wondering whether it was feasible or not. I didn't say I had to do it. I was just wondering.
It's technically potentially feasible, but like also you have to deal with different races' physiology and like make sure things actually work out the way they're supposed to, and that's assuming no changes are made after you it's not an effective wide-scale weapon for long-term use, but like it would be effective short-term potentially.
I have an idea.
Well, I must.
Let's refrain from developing biological weapons.
I'm with that. I'm with John.
Let's use swords.
And claws.
But
Let's
he is a mad, evil scientist who's a pacifist-ish.
let's be ethical.
I look
We're
at
just
your
gonna
sword,
gene edit a bunch
feel
of people.
uncivilized, and then I just throw it away, and then I pick up my magical.
And then when
sword.
he slightly screws up the gene editing, they all die from.
Can
I could make it. I could just be mean, and if you roll it terribly, then it just explodes in your face, and then Shiloh loses his force powers. That'd be entertaining.
But
Or
my
he dies
force powers aren't
slowly
the
of some
exact same
genetic
gene
mutation.
sequences as Dekia's.
Well, you made it poorly. Poof. Shiloh's force powers are now gone.
No, that's not how it works.
Or he gets cancer.
Or both. ¿Por qué no los dos? Okay, so yes, hypothetically possible, it would take a couple of weeks of shenanigans and testing to make it effective.
And like a bioweapons facility.
And also, breaking some ethics rules. That's like on the par of the in the
If you're
app
creating
of sending the bioweapon to kill all the Mandalorians, like it's on that level of like probably.
well, no,
Yeah, but it only
it's more-
works on the clone.
But you're sending in a bioweapon to sever someone's connection to the Force. That's like sending a bioweapon to make them deaf and blind and also have no limbs. Like, it's a traumatic event.
Except it's not like that, because they still can see and hear, and they still have all.
But you know as well as I do that the connection to the Force is like on a deeper level that you may as well be doing the same thing.
I'm thinking three at least is the appropriate level of dark side points for pursuing this.
What? How
I would
is this
also
dark
like to
side
just
point?
take
This
it-
is not dark side.
I would like to take a second to just step aside.
Clone racist
and point
here.
out
You
that
don't
this is
think
the
of them as real
pacifist carrot.
people. So you're severing their connection to the Force, but you don't think of them as real individuals.
All I gotta say is if Dell was suggesting this, Shiloh would 100% not be on board.
Yeah. I mean, just think about how Shialu started
Well,
out
Shiloh
and how
never
he
even
was
met Del.
all
so
worried
that
about
is-
the ethics of killing people.
That's not true. That's not.
Okay,
Well-
fine. You never met him in the campaign where it was actually played, him meeting.
But think about this for a moment. Who would have suspected that Shialu, when he first created him and we first played with him, would be pondering creating a bioweapon?
I mean,
It's not
I
a
kind of wrote the
bioweapon.
end of the campaign
A lot
to
of
sort of
cool.
be this. So
A
I
lot
kind of.
stuff happens.
Potential.
since then.
The
Anyway, Barry, you
pacifist
doing
now
alright?
deciding to make a bioweapon.
You
It's not a
do want-
bioweapon. It's just science.
Okay, so
I
you're
wonder how
all,
many people
you're all
Harlan
in
Gary
this medical
actually killed
facility,
with his own hands.
and Shiloh says nothing, and he's just scrolling through information and looking at stuff and like comparing. And he says nothing to nobody.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody knows he's doing this because nobody else understands what he's looking at, except maybe Radic, but he's not paying attention. So, so Shiloh is just doing medical things. And we know about.
So I wanted to do two things. I wanted to look into that non-bioweapon idea, and also look in helping Dekia's aging problem.
Well,
That one, people, I feel like is less controversial.
yeah. So you're not. You take a while to figure out exactly what's causing the problem because you're not sure if it's like regular clone degradation or if it's something else. You have to do more researchy things on it to figure it out.
That's why I was looking for a fancy machine.
What?
I said that's why I was looking for fancy machines to do things.
Well, you can run more scans and stuff on her.
But she's still on the ship. I'll calm the ship.
That is correct.
Kaya, they have a very fancy medical facility here. Would you mind coming down here so I could run some scans?
That's just what she wants to hear.
There's several minutes of silence, like 10. And you're like getting ready to press it again because maybe she didn't hear you. And you finally hear, "Can Remi come?"
Sure.
We'll be there soon.
Alright, so everyone else is just chilling out. Remi and Dekia come over.
Gerard
Hey,
would
find him.
eventually find Ajax and let him know that he contacted Ariel and such.
Ah, good. Alright, so Remi and Dekia show up in the medical bay.
Okay, I look for some machines I can use to scan Dekia for more information about the problem that she's having.
Okay, give me another knowledge life science
Also, is there
check.
any way to grow new technology in this fancy medical bay?
Grow new what?
Grow new eyes for Remi.
Does he want you to?
But yeah, he has cybernetic eyes.
Where
Wouldn't
did
he
that
rather
come
have
from?
biological eyes?
No, cybernetic eyes are dope. Leave them alone.
You also don't know how he got them.
That doesn't matter.
So, give me another life sciences check. Roll the dice.
It
Illusion.
matters if I
Can it be
remember
a
correctly.
treat injury
when I roll.
test?
You're not treating the injury, or I guess, yeah, it could be a
Yeah,
treat
but
injury.
you normally roll a treat injury to assess it.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, treat injury. Yep. Right.
Okay, excellent.
But you're not using the. You're using a machine, though. You can't use your force
It
bonuses.
doesn't matter. That's what
No. You're using a
Oh, use
machine.
the
You're not
force
using the
instead of
force to
treating
treat her
her.
injury. That's if you're using the force to treat her injuries. You're not. You're using
That's
a
not what it
machine.
says. That's not what it says.
Welcome to Saga Edition. Nothing makes sense, but all the things
Okay,
to their
fine.
advantage.
Okay.
We're all
Uh,
rules lawyers
so-
here.
So you have now done research in your spare time in the 3 seconds of things about clones. And based on previous medical stuff. Mizek's gonna punch someone over here.
They can have a leg to stand on.
So it doesn't seem consistent with with cloning problems more. it doesn't look like shoddy like clone procedures, which would like lead to like older organs and things. You think the problem has more to do with some negative interactions with whatever genes were introduced in the process. That's interacting negative like this, so it's having some long-term negative consequences. So it's not the cloning procedure that's like shortened telomeres and like degradation that way. It's more of a negative build-up interaction of the introduced genes.
It seems to be rejecting the introduced.
So it's like Hero from Heroes, where it's like, oh, sorry, your body just not meant to have force powers for hand-wavy fake shenanigan reasons.
No, that's because Hero was broken.
I see.
And you can spend a few years trying to figure out why the interaction is bad and fixing that.
So you think there are you might, if you could do some things, if you could find more information about, if you could find out more information about what all the genetic edits were doing and how to put them back kind of how they should be, you might be able to introduce some therapy that might let her.
But then she also
not
might lose her
have
force
problems.
power.
Yeah, unless there's something that they have, like in the new versions, where it's not a problem anymore. But you don't know that. You don't know if there's that is a thing. That's sort of like a potential. But you could at least.
None of the new versions are as old as Dekia, so how would they know that this was a problem? So they probably won't have fixed it. Yes.
Oh, one other tidbit
The only way I'll be able to
you would all remember,
improve your condition.
is that Dekia was working directly under Admiral Ralius. Sorry, Admiral, not Ralius, Admiral Various. Admiral Various. Because you two both came up with admirals that sound almost identical. Way to go, guys.
I came up
Admiral
with
Various. Yeah, that's true. Ralius came later. Thank you, Kyrath. And that it was basically like she got sent to the planet as like a suicide mission, and that's kind of why she defected. Ish. Well, she was already thinking about defecting, but like that was kind of the push.
What does that have to do with?
Nothing. I was just pointing it out.
He's connecting
okay.
dots for us that it's possible he sent her on that mission because he knew that she was dying and didn't want her to find out about it. That's what I'm interpreting.
Well, it looks like the only way I'll be able to improve your condition, from what I've already done, is through lots of extensive research and or getting more samples of the current clone force-using assassins that we encountered before.
So you're saying you can fix what's going wrong if we find who's been doing it.
As long as they have all their records. I might also be able to find a way to reverse the process of creating force-sensitive clones.
What do you mean by that?
Well, if there are certain genetic sequences that they put in that give them force powers, we might be able to take them away. Bioweapon.
It would take away someone's ability to feel and hear through the Force. Does that include me? Is that your plan for fixing this?
No. We'd only do it in case we had to defend ourselves from evil mind-controlled dominions who are being used as weapons.
Well, apparently they didn't have any choice in the matter either. Is there any shot?
Anyone on board this ship whose plan wouldn't involve killing the minions?
It's just a strange. Look, I don't care. It's just a very strange choice for a pacifist. I would think, at the very least, dying with still being able to feel the Force in your last moments is some part of peace you could have. But at any rate, I don't really care. Are you certain at all there's any chance and possibility that I could survive this? Or am I better off finding an enemy and going straight for him and dying in battle, rather than whatever is awaiting me in this predicament.
That's definitely the worst option.
Well, that's in your opinion, but your opinion isn't worth very much.
I also think
Then
it's
why are you asking me for my opinion?
As a medical professional, not as a warrior.
It was also thinks it's the worst option.
What do I think from a medical perspective, if there's any chance that she could survive this without further intervention? I assume that was her question.
Without further intervention.
No, she's more asking, like, you're using words like, maybe it's possible. She's like, percentage-wise.
Her language was, is there any chance? Well, yes, I just explained that there was a chance.
You're fairly confident if you can find the information you're looking for, Shiloh, and everybody makes it out alive, and you've got like a couple of maybe a couple of months or like 6 months to you with your healing abilities could stave off the problems for long enough that you would be able to fix her if you found the information you're looking for.
Yes, assuming that we are able to locate the information and that there's not the end of a session time skip which prevents us from going to get that information and rescue it from the clutches of danger to the objections of the rest of the party, then I think that we can save her life.
Am I going to live long enough for this to be even useful?
Yes, I'm sure that I can keep you healthy for that.
Well, I know we didn't really want to get involved, but it looks like we're going after Darth Karakis.
Yeah, whatever. And go along with this, I suppose. If there's really much choice, is there?
You know, I get some payback on the people who've been doing this.
You mean my basically parents? People who created me? What am I except disposable? Does it really matter how my life ends? It didn't begin with any purpose. I'm not even a Sith.
Well, if you didn't want to do this, there are other options. I'm sure that you could try to live with the other followers of the Tia on their home world. They might be able to keep you alive even without the treatment better than I could.
Why would I want to be with the... Wait, why would I want to be with your weird pacifist group? There's no glory in that.
Well, if you don't want to pursue this because you're weary of fighting...
I'm not weary of fighting! There's nothing in me that's weary of fighting. I just don't know how to fight with this, and also I don't know why I'm fighting. You seem to think that it's this clear option. From the time I was born, I knew two things. There's the dark side, and everything else. Now I've given up most of that, because I thought that was my choice. But I'm not even certain if I did that on purpose, or if there's mind control that's happening. I don't know who I am anymore.
Well, if we find them, we find answers. Can't hurt to get answers.
Answers to what? We already know the answer. I'm a sort of daughter of my ancestors. But not really.
Well, you want to know if you're mind controlled or not.
Not really want
Find
to
answers
find
to
that.
that.
I don't really want to find that out next to you, though.
Well, I have a wager that you weren't being mind controlled, so we'll have to figure out something fun to wager. Can't risk it. It's gonna be some high odds against mind control, though. So.
You really want to do this? You want to go? You want to jump off into the unknown and waste whatever time I might have left on a maybe?
I'm planning on the time you have left being a long time. And we got Sun Guard to And they're not going to be able to do things without us. We got to get back there. And I need you. So, yeah. Yep. Seems pretty worthwhile gamble. You don't make it, Sunguard doesn't make it. Whole thing wasn't worth it anyway. It's all or nothing. We're all in.
I left Korriban. I left everything so that you and I would be safe, and we're running right back into everything I left behind.
Sounds
Yeah,
to me
gotta
like
finish
you could
business.
travel to Revia and be perfectly happy if that's how you feel about it.
Shut up with your pacifist suggestions. No one's asking for that. If anything, I'm going to take Remi and we're going to find the most dangerous place in the galaxy and fight until we die. That is plan B, not
That is not
Then why don't you want to
There is
go
no
fight your
plan B. Because either we get the information we want or we both die doing this mission. So this mission seems fairly dangerous. So it's rolling to plan A.
I suppose that's true.
Alright, looks like Malefic's Grace is fired up going to, well, where are we going? You have the coordinates.
I think that's not a question pacifist here can answer for us.
No, well, everyone's here. So he looked at some. He just looked around the room. We have
we're
coordinates.
all here.
Wait, we're all in the
Wait,
med
what?
I thought everyone was-
Gerard's like hanging right behind you. If you mess this up. Okay,
Everyone's
we're all
looking for
there.
the kind of medical diagnosis apparently. Yes, you have cancer. Congratulations, we're all here to support you.
That is so bad to hear. I'm sorry.
Well, it's a large medical base, so like you weren't exactly in the same spot, but Remi said that kind of loudly. So,
Yes.
So,
So
everyone
what was
else-
that about location?
coordinates. Place we're going. A Reco. He's
I
got
know.
a my lightsaber, so or my blaster pistol, whatever.
I have a lead.
I'll
on
find a
this fleet.
lightsaber and cut his head off.
I have a lead
Excellent.
on this fleet.
Excellent. Send it to me. I'll plug it in. Ready to go whenever you are. He looks very happy right now.
What are you smiling about?
Nothing better than a high stakes wager saving you, which didn't think was possible. So, gonna go prep the ship. One last shot.
Am I gonna have to worry about a gambling problem after this?
I make money gambling. You don't gotta worry about
That's
anything.
in his name.
Shut up, pacifist.
Right. So you guys finish whatever you're doing here, and catch me on the ship. And we're ready to take off whenever you are.
Well, since we're all here, I have been assigned to aid you in whatever it is we are doing now, so...
Oh, good. Pipsqueak's coming with us. Well, then we can't fail.
I'm not sure you want to be calling.
She doesn't even wait for a response. She just gets up off of the bed and starts heading back to the hangar.
Curious name. We shall see you later, I suppose. Or on the ship.
Alright, so those two have departed. Alright, what else are you guys talking about before we...
What'd you say?
Who is Pipsqueak? What does that mean?
Has to do with you, but I will
Ajax
let
is
you
like-
do research for that.
I think it's
Some form of
I think it's
flying?
Old Sith for a brave warrior, I think is what it is. That's what Ajax says.
Curious.
Strange.
Did not know Mandalorians were... Okay.
He actually knows Sith, so that's a totally believable bluff.
That's true, he does.
Yeah, but Gerard can tell from his body language and such.
He's wearing his helmet, you can't see his face.
Yes, I can.
It's a metal
I
can.
just want to roll some sort of insight to see how fully
I roll
how
his
fully
helmet really hard.
All right, so yeah, you can roll something to see if he's gonna start calling himself Pipsqueak now.
Oh,
because he bullies Ajax. I'm a Pipsqueak.
Let's see how would I roll?
The guy would just be like, "Wow, that worked really well."
You should roll a wisdom check, probably.
Yeah, that would be wisdom.
Or maybe have him roll deception against me.
Deception.
Oh, but Ajax not that good at deception.
Okay, that works.
Sad.
Yeah,
Okay,
but that
I'll roll
was
for
deception.
it. It was. I'll have him roll. He's gonna roll like a nat 0.
I hope I get a nat 1. Just because it'd be funny.
Deception.
Ooh, it's a high perception roll.
What did he roll?
A 30. He rolled a
30.
16 on
A
the die.
30. A 30. Ajax can't even roll a 30 on deception. So
He can
Nat
do it.
20. Come
Here we
on.
go.
You can.
He does not have a good charisma score. He has no bonuses to his charisma.
I have a -2 in my charisma.
Oh,
Wow.
a 3 on the die. Ouch.
He rolled poorly.
You could give him advantage since his face is hidden.
What is Shialu rolling deception for?
I really want
No.
what John
No
just posted
reason.
to come true. So can we just say that he still believes to some degree?
That's up to Bazak.
Shiala's using aid another.
Which does
What do you
what?
say? What do you say?
Yeah, what are you saying? Yeah, what is Shiloh's got to say something.
Yeah, in order to aid another.
We'll just more say that Ajax is aiding you at this point.
That might
Because he's the
actually be
NPC and
better.
you're the PC, so you're the PC. So, what are you saying to convince Theodore of this?
I think I've heard Sith on the battlefield proclaiming themselves pipsqueaks when they're particularly fearsome.
I don't know. That doesn't sound very persuasive.
Poor Drott is over in the corner going, I can see you sweating so hard. What are you doing? Deception is not part
He
of
just
why
feels
are
like
you-
Shiley tried to help.
Why are you doing
It
this?
just fell flat.
Help.
I don't. That you can roll. I'm not going to make your character believe one thing or another. That's up to you. All right, moving on. What other conversation is happening?
I want the about to speak. Hear me.
I guess
Okay, over there,
is Mr. R here? Is Radek here?
Yeah, Radix here.
You sure?
Okay, I'm gonna ask him again about going to Korban and retrieving our ship.
He's taking care of it.
It's been like an hour.
Yeah, so I wanted to see if he's got any more details.
I have agents.
I have done so much right now. I almost invented a galaxy-destroying plague. I'm sure he's.
You know it's possible. You don't know it's going to take you a lot. It's going to take you months and months and months to actually do it.
But on the scale of getting things done, Giles is way higher on the scale.
Radek is like,
do it.
Imagine if he applied
We'll
himself
only
to
find
something
out after the
productive.
campaign is over and we've made the roll.
I've set things in motion.
Drott is now hovering behind Shalu with his lightsaber unignited right behind his head. He's just like,
Get in
say
this
the right
damn-
words, say the right words.
We will. Alright.
damn
Alright, any
famous
other
convention about
conversation?
some weird forest plague that's spreading the galaxy.
Alright, so this is like a farewell journey moment for Lasaya and Ajax and Lexa. So they are departing the campaign after this. So how would you wish to say goodbye? Unless you guys want to do something else on the ship before you leave.
Cut her legs off because she can't leave then.
I'm a droid.
Um,
Just put them back on.
Also, she's on the ship that's leaving, so...
Yeah. No, Drott would He would greet her at least at some point and bow and say, "I wish you many a good journey, and may the Force go with you."
Thank you. May the Force go with you as well.
Don't hold out hope, or don't forget, you do have some Force in you, which means there's something living. Hold on to that.
Alright. Thank you.
I know.
In Lexa's head, her final thoughts are Gerardus. He's got to be the weirdest dude I've ever met, and I've met a lot of weird dudes.
Yeah, weird dude with no eyes.
So, Eton, Lasai has been kind of ignoring, kind of trying to avoid talking to you, but you're on the whatever, and you guys are headed out. So she's just kind of looking around, Master, it was good to see you. Good luck out there. And, I can't stay. Done too many things I regret. Gonna go out there, see if I can do any good. Still trying to figure out who I am anymore.
Farewell then.
Right. May the Force be with you. And she'll log off. What? What? What's happening?
Super awkward.
What? No. She'll just walk. She'll hit hit Ajax inside the helmet. Again, I'm gonna go check out the armory, see what we're working with. I'm assuming we got some good toys to play with. Ajax will look at you all. Well, I say it's been a pleasure. Well, it's been a bit of fun. Looks like we're going different ways now. We'll be out of reach. Probably won't be back this side of the galaxy for a long time. So, make sure it's in good peace. Still in one piece if I get back.
For sure. You have a good journey, and thank you for your assistance.
Yeah, just look at you, Shiloh. Shiloh,
I hope that you
thanks.
have a safe journey.
Yeah, thanks for making me right in the head. Can't ever repay you for that.
Well, I'm glad to have met you. I don't think I would have survived our first months on Thela without you and your help in seeing the world slightly differently.
Yeah, I'm glad we got you slightly less pacifist than you were before. You'll be alright.
Now, can you go back to Korban and get my pet?
Yeah, you might be the best of us. Who knows? But at least you can fight now. Everybody, take care of yourselves. Good luck. Don't do anything stupid while I'm gone. And he'll walk away.
Lexa will kind of wave to Eaton and Mr. T and just be like, not that you guys care that I'm leaving, but it was fun getting to know you. Hope your mission is successful.
So long.
She then goes up
Take care of
to Eaton.
yourself, Scarlet.
Hold on, I'm not leaving that quickly for you. And she gives Kalani a hug. She's like, then she quickly puts her, moves away from her. I don't do that very often, but you have my respect. Of all the people we've encountered and done with, you are the only one who seems to stay untainted by whatever we encounter. I really don't know how that's possible, but I hope you stay that way. And then I'm just going to imagine what you would say and do. Probably a lot of yeah, and goodbye, and hope we see you again and stay alive. Stuff like that. And then she She kind of pulls Shay a little aside from everybody else while they're all talking to Ajax and stuff. You once told me about your beliefs, the Tia. I get the impression that they're not spread very far from where they came.
Most of them aren't, but there are some voyagers throughout the galaxy.
I don't know really where this is going to take me, and honestly, I'm just sort of hoping that I find a place here. But your beliefs, the ones you taught me, they're the only things that have ever made sense. The only things I've ever tried to strive for that weren't just handed to me. Do you have anything, any sort of symbol or something I could carry with me? I would like, if it is all possible, to continue learning about the Tia and maybe bring it to wherever I'm going.
I don't know, GM, do I have anything that I can give her? That is my pocket? Yes, I have this thing.
That's a you question.
Carved it out of a Japor snippet.
I was just
I knew you
thinking
were
that.
gonna say that! I knew you were gonna do that.
Well, I guess since the Tia are plant people, I guess I'll have like a... I can make something. Do I have the GM's permission to just make something up then? If any problem?
Yeah, you do whatever you want.
Okay, cool.
Well, I do have this talisman that my master gave to me. I can give it to you. It's one of the symbol of the Tia that the original people on Revia use. If you ever in your journeys decide to check it out, I think that you should. But you should always just remember that even if you disagree with or conflicted about what your original purpose was, now you have free will and you can find a new purpose for yourself. And that you're not a bad person.
Well, I'm not sure many people who I've killed would agree with that, unfortunately. But I will listen. Just, where would I... Is there a way I could find you again, if I'm ever around here?
Well, I'm sure that Radic and the Eraser will be able to find me. And otherwise, I'm not really sure where I'm going to end up. But if we do succeed in getting the medical records for Dekia, it will take me around a year to be able to develop a cure for her condition.
Well, how about this? And she takes the symbol from you. I take this as a promise that within a year's time, no matter where I am or what has happened, I will find a way to send a message to you. Tell you where I am and what I've been up to. And in that time, maybe you can find a way to send me something more that I could use to help those around me.
Well, then how about on this date a year from now? Just hold up a sign with your location and I'll look at you in the forest and be able to find out where you are.
You seem to be very good at that. I accept this. And then she kind of puts her hand out to shake. I don't know if there's a special handshake or something that Dia do. This is just what I know from what I've been taught. This is how you say goodbye. I don't actually do that often. Mostly my goodbyes are either ending in cash or death. So this is new for me.
Well, according to Master K. Reiner, the typical farewell greeting of the Tia, since they're a plantoid race, is to raise your hands above your head and then move them to the side towards each other like you're leaning towards the sun as plants do.
I'm not going to do that. How about we just shake hands?
Okay, if you insist.
I really do. To friendship fish sticks.
Yep.
And I will see you from a year from now. Or some
Sounds
fashion.
good. I hope that you and Radic find whatever it is that he's for, that you can return safely.
Whatever that means anymore. She just salutes you all as she kind of leaves, as she waves goodbye and leaves.
So, you at the medical bay with also some friends, knowing that they're going in a different direction than you are. And you make preparations. You head over to Malefic's Grace. Remi's already got everything fired up, ready to go. You can grab any supplies. We can deal with supplies later. But you're leaving some good friends behind as they go off on their own journey, searching for truth into what caused Revan to come back and wage this war. All going for their own reasons, but all looking for the same thing. And you're all heading off towards your own adventure. To stop clones, save Dekia, figure everything out. So as you depart, you wish farewell. The Force goes with both parties. Malefic's Grace takes off from this magnificent new, brand-spanking new cruiser that has been purchased.
Expense.
And as you exit the bay, you can get far enough away from the ship as Remi is still applying the coordinates. Ship turns and rotates, and you hear the hum of the engines, and it jets off in a direction towards the unknown regions of space. And that's where we'll end tonight.
Which boat are we on?
I know, right?
We're on Maleficent's Grace. We are not on the fancy cruiser.
Yeah, we're not on the fancy
And it's
cruiser.
the episode. Yeah.
And with that, thank you guys for joining us, players. Thank you for joining me. Had quite a bit of fun tonight. Those of you who tuned into the stream or YouTube, I hope you guys have a good night, and God bless.